Hello guys, what's up? This is Murtaza. Welcome back to a coder's journey. This is the next episode of my Axios tutorial. I hope you have already watched the previous videos. If that's not the case, as always, make sure you do, because what we talk about in each episode is kind of based upon the ideas that we have already covered in the previous videos. In the last episode, we implemented, request interceptors and response interceptors. And in this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to cancel a request, right? So sometimes you send out a request to a backend API, which is taking more time than it should be and then it should. And then you want to cancel that request, right? For example, due to a timeout error. Now, in order to do that, in order to be able to cancel your request, you need to use a cancellation token source as something that I would like to call, right? So a cancel or a cancellation token source. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to do that. We're going to take it one step further in the next video probably, where I will show you how to cancel multiple requests. So let's go over our code in Visual Studio Code. I've got our index.html open, right? So this is the code that I have. You are already familiar with this code. Basically, we have a reference to our app.js. We have a reference to our CDN for using Axios. And then in this part, in this code file, basically, I'm going to make a simple, get request. This time with a cancellation token or a cancel token. I'm going to create the cancel token here. And then I'm going to cancel after a specific delay. Like, for example, in order to see that in action, basically, we need to suppose that the cancellation should happen after a timeout of, for example, 1 millisecond, because the request will receive its response immediately. If we want to cancel, we want to cancel immediately, as I told you, like, for example, after 1 millisecond. So basically, first I want to create the cancel token source. In order to do that, I'm going to say cancel token source, right? And then I'm going to say Axios dot cancel token dot source. So this is the way you create a cancel token source in Axios. You're going to say Axios cancel token, and then you're going to say source, right? Now you want to make a get request. So we already know how to make our get request, right? We know that we need an endpoint here, and then we're going to handle the then part and the catch part. So in order to be able to send a request, I'm going to use this API, this backend API JSON placeholder, and then the endpoint about photos. For the for the then part, I'm going to say we're going to get a response basically, and then what I want to do is to console log that response. I'm going to say response data, right? I'm going to say response data. Response data. And then for the catch part, I'm going to say suppose that promise, which is returned from the get function, is not fulfilled. So I'm going to say if, for example, Axios is cancel error, I'm going to say console log, and then I'm going to say request canceled due to a timeout, right? Error message. We're going to show a message, and then the else part, is going to be console log error. So basically, we are checking if the error, or if the reason why the promise was not fulfilled successfully is due to a cancellation. So we're saying that in the catch part, we're first checking if the Axios is canceled for the error is true. If that's the case, we're going to say that the request was canceled due to something, a message, which we will fill out in this part, right? And if the request is not canceled, so if there is another reason why the promise was not successful, we're gonna print out this console log. Now this is the cancellation, right? And in this part we are going to cancel this request. How? We're gonna say set timeout. We are going to use set timeout, right? And then we're going to create a function, and we're going to say cancel token source.cancel, and then we're going to pass in the message request canceled due to timeout. And then we're gonna say that we want to cancel this after 1 millisecond. So we are going to run this function after 1 millisecond. This is what the set timeout function in JavaScript does. It will wait for this amount of time, 1 millisecond, and then it will run this code. So this code is using the cancel token source that we have declared here, and then it's going to cancel, right, using this message, and this message is going to be used here, right, in a error message. Now basically, in order to be able to use this cancel token source in this get request, we are going to do this. We are going to pass in an object for the second argument, right, and we're going to say cancel token, and then we're going to say cancel token source.token. Let me press Ctrl Z here, right? Alt Z. If you press Alt Z in your VS Code, the text will wrap to the next line, right? So instead of, for example, pressing the enter here, I'm gonna basically press Alt and Z from my keyboard. So we have declared a cancel token source right here, and we are passing in this cancel token source.token as the second parameter of this get function as an object, right? The name of the property is cancel token, and the value is cancel token source.token, and then we are basically making our get request. We are handling the successful fulfillment of the promise, and then we are catching any case about the time that the promise is not handled successfully. If it is canceled, we are going to run this code, and this is the message that we are going to write in the console. This is the message that is set here, and the set timeout is gonna run the code after 1 millisecond. Right now I'm gonna go to my browser, I'm gonna open this index.html file, and then I'm gonna show you guys how this request gets canceled. Now I have opened the file in the browser. I told you that because we get the response immediately, right, we need to set that timeout to a very minimum value. I have set it to 1 millisecond, right? So I'm gonna wait 1 millisecond for that request to be fulfilled successfully, and if it doesn't get a response after 1 millisecond, I'm gonna assume that it is a timeout error. So if I refresh the code here, it says request timeout, right? Request canceled due to timeout. Now let's give this request more chance of succeeding. I'm gonna increase that timeout to, for example, let's say 1 second. So in VS Code, I'm gonna put in 1000 here. This is 1000 milliseconds or 1 second, and then I'm gonna go to my browser again. Now in my browser, I'm gonna refresh again, so the response comes back, right, within 1 second. Now let's change it to something else, some other value. For example, I'm gonna change it to 100 millisecond, right? I'm gonna say my browser, refresh. So again, request canceled. If the response doesn't come back within 100 milliseconds, it will time out. You see, after a couple of times of trying to get the response, we get the response within 100 milliseconds, right? And if we don't get the response within 100 milliseconds, again the request will time out. So this is basically how you can cancel a request due to a timeout here, and there might be other reasons why you want to cancel a request that is being sent to a backend API. As I told you, I would like to teach you guys about, canceling multiple requests with this, cancel token. And I think it is better that we cover canceling multiple requests in the next video. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed to a coder journey, please make sure you do. And give this video a thumbs up, a like, leave a comment in the comment section if you have anything to say. Just put something out there. We will get into a discussion. I will really like to get into a discussion with you guys. And stay tuned for the next video, where I will teach you how to cancel multiple requests.